Hi friends, welcome to my YouTube channel SS Analysis. First of all, I would like to tell you that if you are watching this video first time, subscribe my channel to see my more upcoming videos on analysis of different commodities and equity indices. And second important thing is to watch this video till its end to understand this thoroughly to take your decision. Your one like will motivate me to be regular in working more hard for you. Let us start the day to analyze the movements of natural gas futures in different time frames. Friends, no doubt that it is a very difficult task to take a decision to go long or to go short before a weekly closing, because nobody knows where the natural gas futures are going to see an opening on the first trading session of the upcoming week. Therefore, I have decided to launch some experiments to take a decision before closing what I would like to see to calculate a decisive move of the natural gas futures before a weekly closing. Therefore, I have decided to analyze the movements of natural gas futures on a live chart. Here you can see the live moves of natural gas futures in different time frames, where I will define that how I calculate to take an accurate decision before weekly closing to gain at the opening levels of the upcoming weeks. Friends, this is my expected trading zones for the upcoming week, where my targets will be up to the levels of $2.934 and my stop loss levels will be at the level of $2.520. Currently, the natural gas futures are sustaining at the levels of $2.593, where I will have to decide that whether I am going long before the weekly closing or going short. So for that, I have constructed some decisive zones to take my decision, where I would like to see in which zone the natural gas futures will close tonight. This will decide the opening levels of the upcoming weeks. So friends, in this color I have defined my breakout zone, where I would like to see natural gas futures. If I find the natural gas futures to see a closing amid this breakout zone, we will see the natural gas futures to take a sharp bounce on the first trading session of the upcoming week. This will be my bullish trading zone, where I will find a gap up opening at these levels. If I find a weekly closing amid this zone, this will be my consolidation zone, then I will expect an opening amid this zone. This will be my normal opening zone. But on the downside, if I find the natural gas futures to see a weekly closing below this uptrend line, I find that we will see the natural gas futures to open amid this gap down zone. Therefore, I have decided to take a closer look at the current movements in the live chart to take a decision within the next few hours before the closing. Let us see these moves in an hourly chart. So here you can see that how the natural gas futures have been maintaining an uptrend since May 6, 2019. We have seen that the natural gas futures have been constantly maintaining an uptrend till today, despite a lot of volatility at the current levels. No doubt that both the bulls and the bears are trying their best to keep natural gas futures in their control, but I find that a move amid this zone, amid these two uptrend lines, is evident enough for the continuity of an uptrend in natural gas futures. Here in an hourly chart, here you can see that on May 8th, 2019, the natural gas futures took a sharp upward move from the levels of $2.539 up to the levels of $2.598, where they faced their first resistance, and since then we can see here the natural gas futures are sustaining at these levels and trying to maintain amid this uptrend zone between these two uptrend lines. Therefore, I find that if we find a weekly closing amid this zone from the levels of $2.591 to $2.620, which will definitely decide the opening levels on the first trading session of the upcoming week. Friends, here you can see that still we can see that the natural gas futures have been maintaining above the 200 days moving average in an hourly chart, which makes it evident enough to show the thick presence of natural gas bulls at these levels, at the level of $2.578, where we can see that the natural gas futures have been constantly maintaining above this uptrend line in an hourly chart. This is my uptrend zone in an hourly chart, these two lines in blue color, where I find that the natural gas futures will try to maintain above this uptrend line. Therefore, I feel too convinced for an eruptive move from the current levels up to the weekly closing, and I find that the natural gas futures may take a decisive move to close above the level of $2.767, which will result in a good gap up opening on the first trading session of the week. Now let me tell you that how I would like to calculate my next move. Now I would like to show you the movements of natural gas futures in a 15-minute chart. Here you can see that in a 15-minute chart, the natural gas futures are strictly maintaining above this uptrend line, because here amid this zone there is a thick presence of natural gas bulls, where we can see that the natural gas futures have been witnessing good buying. The natural gas bulls are constantly buying below the levels of $2.581, which I would like to define a bottom fishing before the advent of summer, because this week the announcement of a small build-up looked not sufficient to meet the upcoming cooling demand during the next few weeks. Therefore, I find that the levels of $2.580 looks too attractive to go long for an immediate target up to the levels of $2.767 before the weekly closing. No doubt that if we find a weekly closing above the level of $2.767, we will see a good gap up opening on the first trading session of the week. Therefore, I would like to see the natural gas futures for next few minutes, how the natural gas futures will behave. Will it sustain above this decisive line? This line will play a decisive role in defining the next move till the weekly closing. Therefore, I find that if the natural gas futures move above the levels of $2.604, we will see a good rally from these levels up to the level of $2.688 in a short while. In my last analysis, as I defined that these levels from the levels of $2.576 to $2.591 are the levels where the natural gas futures are trying to sustain, where I would like to define the natural gas futures to bottoming out from these lowest levels of this season before an eruptive move during the upcoming week. No doubt that the weekly closing levels will definitely define the next upcoming move on the first trading session of the upcoming week. So friends, if the natural gas futures sustain above the level of $2.602 within next 2 hours, we will see a sharp upward move in natural gas futures, when the natural gas futures will try to sustain above the level of $2.624, where we will see some more eruptive moves till the weekly closing. Here you can see that how the natural gas bulls are trying to push the natural gas futures above this uptrend line, and no doubt within next 2 hours we will see the natural gas futures to trade above the second uptrend line above the levels of the 2.624. Let us wait and watch, and I find that a closing above this second uptrend line will provide a good opportunity to natural gas bulls to go long for a good gap up opening on the first trading session of the upcoming week. So friends, be ready to see an action in natural gas futures till the weekly closing to take a decision to go long or to go short, which will depend on the levels of the weekly closing. So before weekly closing, we will have to take a right decision for the opening levels of the upcoming week. So thank you friends, thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, don't forget to share this video with your more and more friends. Thank you.